The winter of 2021 is writing itself into the record books tonight. Large swaths of the nation are seeing the coldest weather in memory, and many thousands of homes are enduring it without power. Amna Nawaz reports.
Over 150 million Americans under winter and ice storm warnings today as historically low temperatures blanket much of the U.S., including areas not accustomed to extreme conditions.
Our bedroom measured at 42 degrees, so it's cold in our house.
In Seattle this weekend, almost 9 inches of snow in a city that hasn't seen that much snow since 1969. In Oklahoma, icy roads have led to fiery crashes. And in Nashville, home security video captures a truck sliding sideways down a residential street. In Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear advised residents to limit travel.
We did not make it through almost a year of a pandemic to lose people to a snow or an ice storm. Please don't let the next couple days or this week be what injures you or ultimately causes the loss of a loved one.
The winter and ice storm advisories stretch from America's Gulf Coast up to New England and have also impacted parts of the Pacific Northwest. Among the hardest hit so far, the state of Texas, where President Biden approved an emergency declaration on Sunday. The deep freeze has led to ice-coated branches breaking and wreaking havoc, and dangerously low temperatures have triggered rotating blackouts, leaving more than 2 million people without power at a time. Amid the outages, the wholesale price of electricity surged today by more than 10,000%.
It is a system-wide failure across the state.
In Houston today, Mayor Sylvester Turner with a grim update.
These are not rolling blackouts. These are power outages at a huge, unprecedented scale. If you are without power right now, it is very conceivable that you could be without power throughout the rest of today and possibly even going into tomorrow.
Officials are warning of storm conditions, travel disruption, and power outages continuing along the storm's path at least through Tuesday.
So, is the country simply in the middle of a particularly severe phase of winter weather, or is there more to it than that? For those questions and more, we turn to Dev Neogi. He's a professor of geosciences and engineering at the University of Texas at Austin. He's also a committee member of Planet Texas 2050, a research initiative on the state's environmental challenges. He joins us tonight from Indiana, where he's waiting out the storm before traveling back to Texas. Professor Neogi, welcome to the NewsHour, and thank you for making the time. I really appreciate it. I want to start with Texas, even though you're not there. You know it well. We're hearing the phrase unprecedented a lot when people talk about this storm. Texas is no stranger to extreme weather in the form of hurricanes and tornadoes, but when it comes to this kind of extreme cold weather, how unusual is it?
I tell you, we are certainly into what you have been hearing this word, uncharted territory, again and again. The fact that we are getting snow and we are having some cold weather in Texas is not unusual. I mean, we have it perhaps every few years. What is really remarkable is the spread, the extent, the severity with which this is happening. And so certainly by that standard, it is an event that has been quite unprecedented in that regards.
So why are we seeing those kind of severe temperatures now?
Well, there are a number of theories and number of questions and options that will start emerging, and they will range from just being bad weather, this is what happens, to issues related to La Nina, which has been inactive, to also that perhaps this is the harbinger of what we have all been talking about with regards to climate changes. And the answer is probably going to all of the above. We often always have combination of weather that is impacted by what is happening with the season. The season is being affected by what is happening with the ocean. And of course, what is happening in the season is also a signature of what is happening in the long run. So it is a combination of everything that we have to understand that is where our challenge and opportunity lies at this point.
One of the arguments about climate change, though, is people say, well, it's actually been making winters milder overall. So how would it be leading to these severe cold temperatures?
great point on that. I mean, we talk about climate change and global warming sometimes with the thinking that it means our temperatures ought to be warmer and warmer. But one factor that we also highlight is that what we will be seeing is this wild swings, both in terms of temperature, rainfall, also in terms of the manner in which storms are coming. So this kind of weather event, which is unprecedented in the context of how things are being spanning spatially as well as in time, is exactly the kind of thing, unfortunately, that a change in climate is being predicted. Whether this is just climate change or whether this is seasonal interactions or weather event, that will be a topic that will be debated. But what is really important is to understand that this is happening now.
Well, when you look at the resources, I want to ask you about what this has done to our energy resources, because you've seen massive outages across the Pacific Northwest, millions of people in Texas left without power as well. Can our energy infrastructure handle these kinds of extreme events, especially if we're to expect more of them?
We have to think of this as a hammer and a chisel. And what I mean by that is that we cannot control the storms. We cannot control whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a heat wave, or whether it's going to be a cold snap such as this. But what we can control is what can we do in terms of the infrastructure resources, the planning, the tools that are available to the community and the cities that can take care of it. And that is where we are at this point, that translation into that last mile. And we are certainly seeing right now that the energy grid has been stretched to its limit. And looking forward, I'm sure there's going to be tremendous opportunities to rethink what we can do to improve the elasticity in that. We have the science, like for instance, at University of Texas, we have been doing this Planet Texas 2050. We are preparing the world that will go into the future. What we need is this last mile, that what would be the tools, what could be the ways by which we can invest into now, such that we have a better future. And it is that investment, the manner in which we're going to look at things directly in the face and say, this is our priority, and this is how we are going to go back science into our investment. That will be the option to go ahead now.
Professor Dev Neogi from the University of Texas at Austin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.